Greetings and salutations, people. Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. It is Sunday night, and it has been an amazing weekend. I definitely want to welcome everybody that is joining me for the Ready, Set, Go preview show. This is a show that we do on Sunday night to essentially provide you guys with a preview of some of the content that is going to be coming out from the channel over this upcoming week. We always give away a slab from our friends at Go Collect, and tonight we are going to be giving away this book right here, Secret War #2, the first appearance of Quake. Really cool book here, 9.8 with white pages. One lucky subscriber is going to win that tonight during the show, and we will reveal who that winner is in a short period of time. And then that person has 1 week to actually claim their prize by sending an email to me. And I will tell you that all prizes right now have been claimed. Every single book that we were planning to give away has been claimed by someone. But I'll also tell you that this week we are going to be doing a Patreon only giveaway. It'll be probably a live stream, potentially on Twitch, maybe on YouTube. And I'm actually going to give away 3 prizes. Going to give away 3 prizes. I put this up on patreon.com yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And the Patreon members voted. And if memory serves, there was a lot of votes for 1 and I think 2. And then there was a healthy number of votes, I want to say, for 3. I think there were like 15 votes or something like that by my count. So we're going to be giving away 3 prizes this week to Patreon members. So definitely all of you stay tuned for that live stream. But as I mentioned, we're going to run down some of the content that is going to be appearing on the channel this week. But before we get to some of those things, there are several different things that I want to talk about. Some stuff that is in the news that I want to rip through and hip you guys to, and maybe we'll spend a little bit of time talking about some of these things. But with that said, I actually am going to go to the chat real quick to say hello to the comic book swoldiers that have joined me this Sunday night. And I think that it is someone's birthday. Chuck, happy birthday, my man. I hope that you had an amazing day and certainly a good weekend. My man Jerry is in here. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Bearded comic collector Doug, how you doing, brother? It's always good to see you. The OG Blue Ridge Tina is in the house. DB, it's good to see you, my friend. Scrolling down through the names, seeing who else we have in here. Robert, how you doing, my man? Havoc is in here. It's good to see you. Nosh is in the house. 2021 New Age Investments. This guy right here. This guy does some crazy unboxings on the Instagram. Just stacks of just awesome stuff. I'm not jealous, but I am envious at the quantity of unboxings that you do, my friend. I hope all is well with you. Steve, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Flame Brain, how you doing? Scrolling through some of the comments. Joe, how you doing, Joe? I hope you are doing well. Scrolling through, what is that? KJ Fox is in the house. Oh, there was someone that dropped a super chat. I'm not sure if you guys could see that. I actually shared it on screen when I was behind the scenes here. I'm not sure if you guys saw that, but shout out to who that was that dropped the super chat. I actually did not have it's like disappeared from my screen, so I actually can't even shout that person out. Scrolling through some of the comments, seeing who else we have in here. My man Chris Bigger, it's good to see you, my friend. Daniel is in here. Good to see all of you guys. All right, so as you all saw from the thumbnail, I don't know if you guys paid attention, there is a new thumbnail. I just had my guy over the weekend make a bunch of new thumbnails for me. So we're going to be rolling those out. Unfortunately, for like the next 2 weeks, I've already created all the videos and all the thumbnails, so I'm not redoing it. So it may be a couple of weeks before you see any of the real thumbnails outside of the live shows. But as you saw on the thumbnail, we now have some data. We have some data that tells us how the Snyder Cut actually did. And this has been one of those things that people have wondered, like, how well did it do? Was it successful? Was it not successful? Did it exceed, people's expectations? Like, how many people actually watched the Snyder Cut? Like, that's been the question. And we actually have some data. And this data is actually courtesy of my friends over at Geekosity Mag. They actually sent me a link earlier today to a post that had been put up by Mikey Sutton. And what we know is that there are some real numbers and they are pretty awesome. So the Snyder Cut was a smash hit on HBO Max. We assume it was a smash hit because many of us liked it. Of course, some people didn't, but many of us liked it. So we assumed, but it says that this show was watched by 3.7 million households in the first 39 days. 3.7 million households in the first 39 days. And so again, really awesome stuff here. And some of this data that I'm actually going to show you in a moment comes from Samba TV, which is a viewer tracker application, kind of similar to like a Nielsen. If you guys are familiar with Nielsen, I am not going to profess to know how all of this stuff works, but they somehow were able to pull together some data to tell us how this thing actually played out. And they say, in fact, only Disney Plus's Soul and HBO Max Wonder Woman 1984 actually topped this show, this release of the Snyder Cut in the first 30 days. Now, what's really interesting is that both of those things, Soul and Wonder Woman 1984, were brand new films. They were not edits. They were not director edits. They were brand new films that were released. And I think if you point out here, moreover, they were both launched on Christmas, when families were gathered together at home. And so what I want to do now is actually show you guys some of the data. And again, this data is courtesy of geekositymag.com. Shout out to those guys for continuing to release awesome information and then also send me stuff so that I can know what the heck's going on. So here we go. We're going to dig into the data, and they basically, from Samba TV, they are actually comparing the two DC movies that were released on HBO Max, specifically Wonder Woman 1984 and the Justice League Snyder Cut. And you can see here, you can see the curve. The blue is the Justice League, and the red or the pink here is Wonder Woman. And definitely, there is no doubt about it that Wonder Woman actually outperformed, right? There's no doubt about that. You can see that curve is definitely above this curve, the blue. But again, Wonder Woman was a brand new show. It actually opened up, what was that same day? 1 million people, little less than 500,000 for Justice League, the Snyder Cut. But then you can see what you see here as you follow the blue line, you can definitely see an increase, a steady increase as you moved out to like, what is that, day 3 or something like that on the far end here. But what you see with Wonder Woman is you actually see a little bit of a decline. After day 2, you start to see things kind of fall off. It would be interesting to know if they had mapped this thing out the full 30 days, what that would have actually looked like, because to me, that would have been really helpful to actually see the full data. Again, because the article actually talked about 3 million, like, let me see all the data. But again, this is more than what we had before. But again, really, really awesome performance here for the Snyder Cut. And again, it was an awesome movie. I enjoyed it. 4 hours. I'm showing 5 fingers, 4 hours. That was enjoyable. It really was enjoyable. And I will tell you that I actually enjoyed the Snyder Cut more than I did Wonder Woman. And I think Wonder Woman, again, could have been cut down by like 30 to 45 minutes, and I would have been fine with that. Snyder Cut, 4 hours that did not feel like 4 hours, and I definitely enjoyed that. And that chart's a little small. Make it just a tad bit bigger for folks like myself that are visually challenged. Hopefully you guys can see that just a little bit better how these two movies performed. And without a doubt, it is important to highlight that both of these movies did really well. So let's acknowledge that we are pointing out some differences that exist between, the Snyder Cut and Wonder Woman, at that later stage. But both of these movies performed incredibly well. And the actors, the directors, the producers should all be applauded for the great work that they actually do. All right. So let me go ahead and take that off screen, and then I'm going to go to the chat to see what folks are thinking about. Let me scroll down There may have been another super chat. I cannot tell because my screen gets rid of a lot of stuff. So you guys have to bear with me. So back into what is that? Who was it that said Doug is pointing out? Yeah. Started to flatline it. And I think the article for Geekosity, it kind of highlights to the fact that Wonder Woman started to flatline a little bit, potentially because of, people's feedback in social media and people talking about that it wasn't necessarily a great movie. That could have definitely affected what we started to see happen around that 3-day mark. Now the inverse to that, of course, is that the Snyder Cut was promoted, yes, like a new movie, but there was also a lot of outcry from the comic book community and others, I would assume, that really enjoyed it. And that may have been what helped to propel the Snyder Cut to the heights that we saw. Fantastic. Well done. Because that was essentially the point that I was making, right? Is that he points out here 1984 felt like 4 hours. Yes, it did. It was like, man, it was a slow boil indeed. So scrolling through some of the comments here. What is this? Oh man, I think we're probably done with the Wonder Woman year naming convention. I think they're hopefully going to move away from that. Well done, Chuck. Chuck is over there just dropping bombs. Wonder Woman 84 should have been named Wonder Woman 1884. Scrolling through some of the comments here, see what else you guys are talking about. And again, I enjoy both movies. Both movies were good. Both movies were good. There's no doubt about it. I definitely enjoyed one more than the other for certain. What is this? 84 was bad because it handled primarily Patty Jenkins, who, yeah. I mean, that could be part of it. That could be part of it. I mean, she definitely is being propped up as a great, I guess, director. I honestly didn't know that she wrote it as well. I did not know that. I do know that she is actually, I guess, gearing up for the Star Wars movie. So fingers crossed that if she did write Wonder Woman, that they have different writers for the Star Wars movie. She said that her goal is to make the best, I guess, like fighter movie ever made. So fingers crossed that the action is met with some great dialogue and great storytelling as well. So fingers crossed with that one. And again, her father was a fighter pilot. I believe that was shot down. So I think she's doing this definitely for the heart. So fingers crossed that it's actually a really good show when it drops. Scrolling through some of the comments here. One Wolf Gun says, I'm skipping both of them and jumping on the Suicide Squad. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Oh my goodness, DB. Michael B. Jordan's movie on Amazon would have been worth paying for. You know what? So if you guys haven't seen this, I would encourage you to check it out. It was actually a pretty awesome movie. There were some touching moments in it. It was a pretty awesome movie. It could have been better. Yes. But it was definitely good. It was good. I watched it the other day, and it was not bad at all. I'm actually watching another thing right now. For All Mankind is the other thing that I'm watching right now on watching us on Apple TV. So scrolling through some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. All right, cool. So let me go back to this just to make sure if there were a couple of people that came in a little late. I want to share this one more time. So what we now have is some data that looks at the performance of the Snyder Cut that was released. And basically there is a viewer tracker application called Samba TV that somehow or another is able to look at the data that is out there. And basically what they are reporting is that the Snyder Cut was watched by 3.7 million households in the first 39 days. And they released basically a chart that shows how the Snyder Cut compares to Wonder Woman 1984. So I actually want to share my screen with you guys one more time so you guys can see this. And I think the chart should be a little bit bigger than it was the previous time here. But it basically points out here that Wonder Woman 1984, which is that pink line, started to level off on its third day, whereas the Snyder Cut started to continue to move upward, potentially attributed to the positive word of mouth that was out there, unlike Wonder Woman, which, some people didn't necessarily care for. And I think some critics kind of spoke negatively about it as well. So again, just really awesome comparison here looking at the Snyder Cut versus Wonder Woman. And again, both of these movies were pretty solid. I watched both. I enjoyed both. I definitely enjoyed the Snyder Cut a little bit more, especially versus the previous cut that was released. And it's one of those things that, if you didn't have a comparator, if you didn't have the Snyder Cut to compare to the original cut that was released, I don't know that you knew what was missing, but when you saw the Snyder Cut, you were like, whoa, there was just a lot of detail that was missing. There were a lot of gaps that were filled in, at least for me. That's how I felt like, oh, now I know why this happened, because they actually showed me this. Whereas in my head, I guess I had to fill in that gap. The Snyder Cut actually gave us a lot more detail, which I really appreciated. So scrolling through, oh, wait a minute. Somebody said the Flash movie is filming. What was that? Yep, that is correct. That is correct. Only from the smart TVs, which I guess would mean that it may actually be underreported, right? Because if it's only from the smart TVs, there are other ways that people could have actually streamed this thing. So we don't. There is a little bit of a gap there, is my assumption. I don't know the percentage of people that actually have smart TVs versus don't. You know what I'm saying? But I think that that's what Pretty Fly is actually trying to highlight here, that potentially this data is underrepresenting the performance of potentially both movies. And that's assuming that the Wonder Woman data actually came from Samba as well. I would have to dig into some of the details to make sure that it's an apple to apple comparison. So scrolling through some of the comments here, couple of comments here from people commenting on the Snyder Cut. So we'll leave that up for a second. So I still haven't watched either yet. I'm not sure if I want to get HBO Max. I respect it. At this point, you won't be able to see Wonder Woman because I think that it's been pulled. I think Wonder Woman was only up there on HBO Max for 30 days. So I think that that's actually been pulled down by this point. And I'm guessing that the Snyder Cut is still available. I honestly don't know. I don't know that for a fact. All right. So that was the first thing that we wanted to kind of cover off, the performance of the Snyder Cut, which again has been reported to have been watched by 3.7 million households. It's not necessarily people, but that is households. And to Pretty Fly's point, that is actually just data collected from smart TVs and not necessarily from the other platforms that are out there that people potentially could leverage to access the show. One of the other things that I want to hip you guys to is I was going to talk about a really cool cover. Speaking of Pretty Fly, he actually hipped me to this a couple of days ago. So I want to go ahead and acknowledge his contribution here. But there is going to be a celebration of Ta-Nehisi Coates' 5 years. His 5 years on Black Panther is actually coming to an end. And Marvel is celebrating his work with 12 covers that they are releasing. One of them is the one that you see on screen right now by Patrick Gleason. People, Patrick Gleason is on fire. This is the same guy that released Amazing Spider-Man 55, the black and white cover that became the black and white cover that became the blue and black and the red and black. The guy is on fire. This cover right here featuring Black Panther is just amazing. I went ahead and snagged myself a couple of copies of this, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it because it is dope. And I want to say that I actually saw a clip on Patrick Gleason's Instagram page as he was like creating this piece. And it is striking. It really is a striking piece. So the finale of Ta-Nehisi Coates' 5-year run on Black Panther is set to hit the stands on May 26th. And for the occasion, Marvel is rolling out 12 different variant covers. And they actually show us some of those variant covers right here. And they're pretty nice. Let me see if I can get this thing to actually actually work. I may need to shrink my screen. See if I can get this to work. So you guys can see some of these covers right here. Some of them are pretty awesome. Let me see. This one's awesome. I think that this one right here by Joshua is really, really fantastic. I thought that this mosaic was very striking. So here's another that I thought was really cool. I'm going to be honest, I'm not going overboard. I'm not buying a ton of these things. But again, the Patrick Gleason, I can't remember how many I picked up. It was at least two copies. You guys will see it in a future video or something like that. So a couple of really cool. Oh, that was a Peach Momoko. I didn't see that one. I saw it earlier. I didn't see her name up there. That does not, I guess it does look like her work. I guess it does. So scrolling through so you guys can see all of the 12 covers. So there you go. Again, some really cool stuff. Shout out to my man, Pretty Fly, for hipping me to that one. Shout out to my man, Super Honorable Nephew, for the super chat. I definitely appreciate you, brother. It is good to have you back, my man. It's good to have you back. Still collecting the various variants for Nocturne. Bro, Nocturne, I'm telling you, man, I dig Nocturne. I've enjoyed it since I read the first blurb about Nocturne, and I'm reading the issues and I'm enjoying it. I will tell you that. So looking forward to issue 3 dropping. Not quite sure when that's coming, but whenever it drops, I'll be there. I'm not going to go overboard. I bought a lot of the first all the variants for the first one. The second one, I bought a couple. The third one, probably going to be even less. So scrolling through Black comic characters. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. It is good to see you. Scrolling through some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Let me scroll. Yeah. Sully Two Kings is changing his name, man. It throws me off. So Sully Two Kings is Black comic characters. It just, when you guys change your name, it just throws me off completely. And let me see, scrolling through. Doug, how you doing? He says first 2 issues of Nocturne. You know, it's different, man. It's a different kind of story that I find refreshing. I find it refreshing. Maybe it's the big rig. I don't know, man. Maybe it reminds me of like Pitch Black just a little bit, the stuff that happens in the dark. I don't know what it is, but I'm enjoying. Is it this week? Hold on. Who is that? Steve White says Nocturne issue number 3 is this week. That's what's up. I'll tell you, I don't ever really know what's coming. I never truly know. Like, it doesn't stick for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? ENIAC, Chris Bigger, man, ENIAC was really good. And I do believe that is the correct pronunciation. I actually had to talk about ENIAC in a video. And someone actually corrected me on my pronunciation of it before. And I went and I watched a video about the actual computer system. And I believe that ENIAC is the correct pronunciation. If I am wrong about that, I am sorry, but I do believe that is how you pronounce it. I actually have a video coming up soon where I'm actually going to be talking about one of the other Bad Idea books that came out that I finally had a chance to read after a couple of weeks. So Craven says, I can see Nocturne being made into a TV. Man, I'm going to tell you. I see it. I see it clear as day, and it'll be dope. It will be dope. I'm a big fan of like post-apocalyptic kind of stuff, and it may come from like me liking Mad Max and Beyond Thunderdome and all that kind of stuff. I dig post-apocalyptic kind of stuff. For whatever reason, I dig it. So scrolling through some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Don't get ahead of my video. Nocturne number 2, second print, and 3 are out this week. Steve, you are on it, man. You are on it. Nocturne has serious video game, but I could see that too. The cover for ENIAC number 2 was bad, but I'm gonna tell you, the artwork was awful. The elongated faces, just not a good look. And someone, I think it was in a live stream, kind of made the comment as I was talking about it when I was showing it. I think they made the point that it was supposed to be from the vantage point of a rifle scope. And I guess because they were up close to the rifle, or the shooter, I guess that's why their faces were a little rounded. I get it. I didn't like it. But I got it. Let me see. It would be dope. I have I have almost like all the covers for Nocterra 1. I think there may have been a couple that I missed, but scrolling through some of the comments here, said it's all right, brother. You know I'm just playing. You know I'm just playing. Gotta have some fun. Como Comics is in the house. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you, my friend. Let me see. Man, I'm gonna tell you, I won't ruin it for you, brother. I won't ruin it, Joe. But if you watch one of the videos that's coming up and you haven't read it, that's on you, my friend. You have been forewarned. Forewarned, Joe. That's all I'm saying to you. Yeah. Aliens 1, not so much. I'm hearing good things about Aliens 2. I still haven't pulled the trigger on it. So for those folks that are coming a little bit late, we actually already spoke about the Snyder Cut and the data that has been released from a company called Samba TV, which I believe is an aggregator of smart TV data, kind of like a Nielsen. Basically, what we know from Geekosity Mag, which is reporting on Samba TV's release, that there were 3.7 million households within the first 39 days that took time to watch the Snyder Cut, which again I thought was an incredible show. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed that some magic is going to be made sooner rather than later to know where Snyder is going to be. And I think that there are a lot of people that do not necessarily like Snyder, but I think that his cut of Justice League was fantastic. I really do think that it was fantastic. And again, we'll see ultimately where he lands. The second thing we spoke about was Ta-Nehisi Coates' 5-year run on Black Panther is actually coming to an end. Marvel is celebrating with 12 new covers that are all going to be dropping, I believe, on May 26th. And so a lot of folks love the Ta-Nehisi Coates run. It'll be interesting to see where he heads to next. So again, I just want to catch folks up as to where we are right now. All right, so the last thing that I want to cover off on is a new Netflix show. You guys know there is some magical stuff that is happening right now whereby comic book properties are just being picked up left and right, and they are being brought to the big screen and the small screen. And a lot of folks have made this point that there is like a comic book movie or show fatigue. And I've never really supported that notion. Primarily because comics are very diverse. And so there were so like The Road to Perdition and there's so many different comic book derived shows that people don't even know were comic books, right? And I think there's a huge spectrum of genres out there that they can continue to release movies and TV shows like forever. And I don't think that there's going to be fatigue because there's so many different ways that they can actually go with some of the stuff that has actually come out in comics and graphic novels. And to really demonstrate that point, Netflix has a show that's actually coming out that is based upon a comic that ran for 40 issues or something like that. I personally have never read the comic, but I watched the trailer and now I am somewhat intrigued to maybe read all about Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth Netflix adaptation gets its first trailer. The first trailer for the Sweet Tooth Netflix adaptation has premiered, showing the upcoming TV version of this DC property. Sweet Tooth trailer introduced viewers to the comic. And this, again, I talk about it because it's a post-apocalyptic kind of thing, right? Where animal-human hybrids are victimized by the survivors of a collapsed society. And again, it's trippy. It's trippy. Sweet Tooth originally ran for 40 issues from 2009 to 2013. And what's crazy here is that I have seen like this Sweet Tooth stuff kind of appear a few different times. on like Instagram. And of course, I've just kind of like seen it periodically pop up in people's videos. And I was always like, what is up with the child with the horns or the antlers? Like I never really got it. And now I get a little bit of insight that something happens and there's like some stuff that is mutating babies, as you can see right there. And it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if I'll read the comic, but the show or the movie, whatever this is actually going to be, looks pretty interesting and I may watch it. I don't know if it's going to be one of those things that I watch as soon as it comes out. I may have to be in that mode of there is nothing else on TV for me to check it out, but you can see it right here. I will tell you that the trailer here, the trailer is actually pretty cool. The trailer makes it look pretty cool. And so there is definitely some bad guys in this thing. There's some good guys. There's a lot of bizarre stuff that's kind of happening. So I don't know. What do people think about this thing? What do people think about this? I don't know if folks even read the comic or if people have even seen the trailer. So scrolling through some of the Oh man, you are a nut, sir. You, sir, are a nut. You can't go wrong with giving tooth. You can't go wrong with that. Let me see. I'm scrolling through some of the other comments here, see what you guys want to talk about. Let me see. I think I lasted 3 issues with Sweet Tooth. Really didn't like it, says Milt. There you go. There you go. And again, it just doesn't look like, it's not a comic that I would pick up, Philtastic says, trailer looks good. Only read 1 issue of the series myself. And again, I have not seen very many people like talk about this series. So, which is kind of interesting. One Wolf Gun picked up on this, is done by Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, you picked up on that. Very good. Very good. So again, I don't know. I've seen again that issue number 1 pop up several different times over the last several months, possibly longer than that, to be honest with you. But I haven't really seen anybody like talk about it. I've never really seen anybody say that they love this comic, but I'm sure that there are fans out there. I'm sure that there are. So scrolling through, what is that? I never heard of the series it's based on till now. Oh, there you go. So I'm catching up on Sweet Tooth now. There you go. No Good Comics is in the house. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. I did an interview with this guy. Joined him, what was it, like 2 weeks ago? There was like a stretch there where I was either interviewing someone or being interviewed by someone for like 2.5 weeks. And it was tough. It was tough, but I had a ton of fun with these interviews that I did. And No Good Comics did a really, really fantastic job asking really good questions. I honestly enjoyed my time. So if you guys are not following this guy, I definitely encourage you to do it. He does, comic book origins with YouTubers of all ilks. And so good show, good channel. Check him out if you get a chance. Scrolling through some of the comments here. John, it's good to see you, brother, as always. What is this? Ian picked up the sequel series for Sweet Tooth, but haven't read it yet. It looked like from the tone of the article that it ran for 40 issues, but then there have been several like sequels and follow-on series. Let me see. Sweet Tooth originally ran for 40 issues from 2009 to 2013 with several specials and revivals originally published through DC's now shuttered Vertigo imprint. Sweet Tooth's latest release have come through DC's recent Black Label imprint. So there you go. Scrolling through, I don't think that there was anything else crazy. Sweet Tooth, the series, has been in the making since 2016, and the comics existed even well before that. But I think everyone is going to relate to the show and this story even more than we thought when we first started working on it. And this comes from Beth, the showrunner. When you watch Sweet Tooth, you feel hopeful about the future. Oh, that's very interesting. That is an interesting take, because you don't necessarily get hopeful from a post-apocalyptic type of thing, and certainly from something that is put out by DC, because they tend to have a darker tone. But the showrunner is saying when you watch Sweet Tooth, you feel hopeful about the future. This show is actually going to be debuting on Netflix on June 4th. There you go. Some cool stuff, man. I definitely want. Oh, sorry. I left you up there a little bit too long, brother. Let me see. No good. Yeah, he did a good job, man. He did a good job. He really did. I enjoyed it. Let me see. Ian says they just finished up Sweet Tooth the Return. The sweet tooth is back. Let me see. What is this? Man, I gotta check out. There we go. That's what's up. Scrolling through some of the comments. Serge, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Oh, wait a minute. Is young Matthew in here? Young Matthew in the house. I was just thinking about you the other day, brother. I hope that you are doing well. Let me see. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Oh my goodness. You guys are hilarious. There we go. Scrolling through some of the comments and what else you guys are talking about. All right, cool. So again, we gave a little bit of rundown on 3 different topics here. The Snyder Cut watched by 3.7, I think it was 3.7 million households in the first 39 days. Ta-Nehisi Coates' run on Black Panther is coming to an end. Marvel is celebrating this with the release of 12 really awesome covers, one of which is just incredible from Patrick Gleason. Super dope cover. I actually picked up a couple of copies of it. Fingers crossed that it arrives here safely in a few days. And then we also looked very briefly at the Sweet Tooth trailer that is going to be dropping on Netflix relatively soon. All right. So for those folks that came in a little late, we have now covered off on all of the topics for this show. So let me give you guys a rundown on some of the content that is going to be coming out from the channel this week. A subscriber reached out to me. I want to say it might have been on like Thursday or Friday and gave me some information related to Marvel's distribution plan. We spoke about Marvel making a change to Penguin several weeks ago. And at the time that I made that announcement, we did not have a whole lot of details. We do now. And I'm going to be releasing a video this week that is actually going to provide a ton, I think, of insight from both Marvel's perspective as well as Penguin Random House's perspective as well. They provide us with a lot of information and guidance. Let me tell you, they seem to have a plan to handle everything from the damages to, making sure that they're supporting LCSs as best they can. So I would definitely encourage you guys to check out the video when it drops, to make sure that you are informed as to what is actually happening with Marvel's plan. And I will tell you that I personally feel that how Marvel is handling this is incredible. They are not just flipping a switch and being like, boom, we changed it up, figure it out. They are taking their time, and you will see the details in the video that drops this week. Shout out to my man DB. I definitely appreciate that. What is this? 5 weeks until I have been watching Regie. That's what's up. That's all right, man. Happy anniversary, bro. Happy anniversary. Okay. Happy anniversary. There's a thing where I can do it here on the channel where people can actually get badges or something like that for being long-term viewers and subscribers. I haven't turned any of that stuff on, but there's a way that you can do that so that people can actually have these badges or whatever. So maybe it's something that I'll look into. So the Marvel distribution plan video is dropping this week. I definitely want to encourage you guys to check that out. I recorded a video probably a month ago. It's a Kirby haul video. I keep kicking the can on this one. I keep kicking the can on this video. I got to get this video out before it's like super old. I actually want to show the books at some point. So we're going to release that video this week, the Kirby haul. And then I'm also going to release a video on whether now is the time to buy comics. And this has been a hot topic. I actually have a series of videos that are going to be coming out talking about if now is the time to buy comics, is now the time to sell comics. What should you do if a crash were to happen or is going to happen? So I have a series of videos that are going to be coming out. Bear with me as I attempt to release these videos in some semblance of order. So bear with me on that one. But some good stuff ahead, I think. And then we are also going to be releasing one blog post from my man Doug that'll come out on Wednesday morning. I think we're going to have a podcast drop as well. I need to talk with my brother. My actual like real brother, not like my bro. My real brother is actually helping the channel by working on the podcast. So I think he's going to be getting one ready to release early this week. I haven't spoken to him this weekend, but fingers crossed that that drops on Monday. So bear with me as we try to find a rhythm here to, constantly release this podcast. And the podcast is actually available on a lot of different platforms that are out there. We use Podbean. Podbean.com is where you can find it, but you also can access it, I want to say, on Apple, on Spotify, and several different other platforms. Or you can just go to regiecollects.com and scroll down because I've embedded a widget. Ooh, that's a fancy term. A widget into regiecollects.com. You can actually listen to the podcast directly through the website, regiecollects.com. All right. So scrolling through some of the comments, I am all caught up. What is this? Good deal, equal buy comic, catch a brick. Here's the thing. If I made videos that way, they would be super short, right? And if you wrote blog posts that way, they'd be super short. So both of us have the ability to take what you just did and stretch it out. So shout out to my man, Doug. I appreciate this guy. I really do appreciate you, brother. What is this? It's on Apple. Just takes forever to add a subscription list. Hey, send me a message because I don't know that I fully appreciate what that actually means. If there is something that I need to do, tell me. But I don't know that I fully appreciate having that comment right there. So help me out with that one. All right, brother, just send me a message. Help me out because I want to make sure that I understand the context of that comment, because if there's something I need to do different, I want to make sure that I do that because I want you guys to enjoy the content and be able to take a little Reggie on the go. That did not sound right. All right. So with that said, I'm ready to get to the giveaway. Secret War #2, the first appearance of Quake. One lucky subscriber is going to walk away with this really dope book. Thanks to my friends over at Go Collect. Shout out to those guys for supporting the channel over these last 116 weeks, putting me in a position to be able to give away a really cool comic every single week, value somewhere between $150 and $200. So really cool stuff. I absolutely appreciate them as a sponsor. So let's go ahead and get ready to roll these dice. And we're going to share the screen and randomize the list and give away this cool comic to one lucky subscriber. So we have rolled 8. Ladies and gentlemen. All right, so let me take this off the screen. And now I'm actually going to share the list of names. These are all the people that were able to successfully find the video this week that contained the phrase that was needed to actually enter the contest. And I can't remember how many people here, but it's a lot of folks. We only had, I think, one person that entered 2 times. So we had to go ahead and delete both of those entries. But most people were able to follow the direction without any problem or issue. And they also didn't talk about it in the comment section. So I definitely appreciate people when they follow the rules, and shout out to every single person that is on this list. And I wish all of you good luck. So that is 1 right there. Scrolling down, here is 2. Scrolling, here is 3. This is 4 right there. Daniel was in the first place right there. Here is 5. I can click the button. Steve was at the top of that one. Here is 6. Rob, 7. And the winner of this week's Go Collect giveaway of Secret War issue #2, a 9.8 with white pages, is Yopper. Yoper Wisdom. I guess that's what that is. Yoper. Ooh, Tracy is best was in second place. There you go, Connor. There you go. God's perfect idiot. Those are your top 5. Again, Yoper Wisdom. You have 1 week to claim your prize by sending an email to Regie at regiecollects.com with your screen name, your government name, your mailing address, and I will gladly bundle up this super dope book and send it over to you. So again, shout out to all those people. You have 1 week to claim your prize. If the prize is not claimed by this show next week, we go to the second name on the list, which is Tracy is Best, a longtime subscriber and a person that has won a lot of stuff. Ooh, and I kept you guys on the wrong screen. Ooh, my bad. My bad. I'm sorry about that. I should have gone back to look. My bad. I kept you guys on the little one. Sorry about that. But there you go. Scrolling through some of the comments here. There we go. A couple of people. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm going to tell you, when I don't recognize the person's name, it gets a little risky. And Liger King is on to something with that one. When I don't recognize the name, it gets a little risky. There are some people that are here every single week. They enter the contest every single week. When we get that random name, it is a crapshoot. We don't really know which way it's gonna go. Scrolling through. Oh, there we go. Thank you, brother. He said that the comment was not directed at you about the podcast. It was at Apple, as iTunes takes forever to add new podcasts. Oh, there we go. The good news I want to say is that it should already have been added like a year ago. So we should already be in there. And if we're not, please let me know. I've been a little sporadic with the podcast thing, and at one point I just shut it all down. Then I watched the Mark Wahlberg thing, got all fired up and all feisty with stuff, and then I jumped back on it and enlisted my brother's help. So if it is not there, Havoc, please let me know, and thank you for the clarification. I absolutely appreciate it, my friend. Scrolling through some of the comments here, making sure we are good. And I think we are good. A couple of people talking about burner. Richard, first of all, don't ask questions that I don't have answers to, because here's the thing. I wanted to support local. But I was too lazy to drive. I was too lazy to drive to this local comic shop, but I bought the books in probably like roughly 15 minutes. It was like, what's the price? Cool. Give them to me. Here's the money. Send them to me. All right, cool. The books haven't arrived. The books have not arrived just yet. So I have videos that I'm trying to record that I want to release to you guys with the phrase in it, but I can't because I don't have the book, and I need the book to record the video to release it. So fingers crossed. You probably have already guessed that it's not going to be a Monday's video. You probably already know that, right? You probably surmised that. But the book should be here. The book should be here on Monday, and I'll immediately record the video and release it to you. I honestly, I think there's some good books. I have a book under my desk that I'm actually trying to hold. I don't want to give it to you guys. I want to keep it for myself. But if the books don't show up on Monday, then I'm going to give you the one that's under the desk. So I don't want to do that. Doug is like, get ready, Tracy. Scrolling through. My bad, Big Herm. My bad, brother. My bad. I kept you guys on the small screen. Yeah. What I want you to know, you helped me. I'll tell you, I went back. This was probably, so I've been hearing this comparison between my voice and Casey Kasem for quite some time. I've been hearing this. And at first I did not get it. And I actually listened to some Casey Kasem stuff, and I was like, okay, his cadence, his rhythm, the tone, I get it. But a while ago, maybe a month ago, I went back and I listened to this YouTube video that contained a bunch of Casey Kasem voiceovers. I did not fully appreciate just how much voice work Casey Kasem had done. He had voiced so many different characters, sometimes multiple characters in the same show over like a long period of time. It was quite impressive. And I will tell you guys, oh, there was a super chat. Oh, missed it. Where is it? Oh, there's a super sticker. I can't see those. Oh, well, now I see it. Thank you, brother. I don't see all the animation. I think there's like animation, Nathan. I don't get a chance to see that because of the interface. But thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate the super chat or the sticker, whatever that is. It is always appreciated when people do that. No, I do not. No, and it's 1G, Regie, 1G. But what's cool is that I'm actually going to be doing some voiceover work for myself. So at work, I am producing a video. I've been working on this video with like the script, and my doctors are going to be voicing over part of it. They will be on screen. But my agency actually asked me if I would do the voiceover portions. And I was reluctant, but I decided to do it, mostly because it's actually going to save me a lot of money because I don't have to hire a voice actor. I'll just do it myself. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that. It'll be pretty cool. I think it'll be fun. And no, I'm not paying myself. I think that would get you fired. That when you pay yourself to do work, that would get you fired. But yeah, so that's going to be coming out at some point. So, all right. Yeah, he did. I must do a mean shake. Oh my goodness, he was everywhere. And I did not he is. Ryan Seacrest and he are like the same I think Casey Kasem came back as like a pretty boy. He came back as Ryan. He really did. But yeah, he was Casey Kasem, super talented, did a lot of stuff, man. And which I think is really cool. I did not fully appreciate that. So I did some voiceover. What did I did some voiceovers when I worked for a Fortune 500. There you go. I've been the face. I've been the face on many a banner and also website for like when I did my MBA, I was on several different pages on the MBA website. For one employer, I was on like a banner that they hung from the ceiling and like tent cards at the in the cafeteria. Like I've done a lot of that kind of stuff, you know, but the voice part, I've never done that. And so I'm pretty excited about that. It should be really cool. So, all right, with that said, I'm going to wrap up this live stream. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit. If you enjoyed this live stream, I definitely want to encourage you to hit the thumbs up button. If you are watching this right now and you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I want to personally invite you. I want to invite you right now to go ahead and subscribe to the channel because here we try to help you to make sense of comic book collecting. As always, if you guys need me, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, 1G, Regie. Reach out to me on Instagram at Regie Collects. Take care.